Exciting time of year. Month of November flew by. It's hard to believe that we're already halfway finished with our non-conference schedule. It's great to be back. As fun as the trip to Hawaii was, and as exciting as it was, having that behind us now really allows us to focus on one game at a time, progress and growth, both as a team and individually, which this is an incredibly important time of year for that. And then, just really honing in as a group on what we're going to need to do to be the best us as we move forward this season. So excited about what's ahead of us. Obviously, exciting game for everyone in the state on Saturday, and it'll be a heck of a challenge at the Kohl Center. Wisconsin's done a terrific job this year. They have a veteran team, a lot of toughness, very good on both ends of the floor. That's really what strikes me watching them. Sometimes a team's really good on offense or a team's really good on defense. They're very strong on both ends. So it'll be a fun challenge for our team, and we're excited about Saturday.
When you're out mingling with Marquette basketball fans, do they ever tell you, like, we like what you've accomplished so far, but what we really want is for you guys to beat Wisconsin? Do you ever hear that from anybody?
Not exactly those words, but it's clear that it's a game that's very, very important to people. And listen, when you're in coaching or when you're a player, you're fortunate to be a part of rivalries. And, coaching at different schools over the years, I've had the good fortune of being in different rivalries, and it's a lot of fun. The fans at least act like they hate each other. The players and coaches do not hate each other. Sorry, fans. The players and coaches want to win. And ironically enough, that's the same thing we want to do the game before or the game after. It just takes on a little bit different storyline when you're playing a rival in state. But we hope to be a program that continues to grow and develop and be better than we were the last time out, and that absolutely includes this game.
You kind of touched on it there about just being in a lot of rivalry games. How does the Marquette-Wisconsin rivalry stack up, especially like you said, it being in state?
It's great. I think whatever rivalry game you're in is the biggest rivalry, just because you're in it. Auburn, Alabama had a crazy finish last weekend. I'm sure for anyone in that rivalry, there's nothing bigger. Carolina, Duke, nothing bigger. Louisville, Kentucky in that state, nothing bigger. So for us, we're fortunate to be in a state where, right now there's two high-level basketball programs that, have had a decent amount of success in recent times. Wisconsin's won their league multiple times. Our program is ascending, and so that makes the rivalry even better.
You talk about the veteranship. There's a lot of continuity from last year on both sides. Two of the highest returning scoring percentages in the country heading into this season. How does that impact how you guys will prepare for the game?
We watch the game from the previous year because there are a lot of familiar faces on both sides. But each game kind of takes on its own personality. And I think for Wisconsin and for us, this year's version of our teams are different, playing a little bit different. They've added some pieces. We have some new guys, and then we have some guys, particularly our sophomores, that are just different players than they were a year ago. So the game tape from last year, or even 2 years ago, is valuable, but at the same time, for sure, it's a new year.
One thing that's stood out statistically, it's kind of an anomaly. You guys aren't shooting very well on like unguarded catch and shoot jump shots. Is that something? I know it's a small sample size, but is that something you're worried about, or do you think that's going to stabilize itself?
I love the fact that I think we're leading the country in Nevada knows all this stuff. We're leading the country in the distance between the shooter and the defender on our three-point shots. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Trust me, I've been part of teams where you're on the opposite. And so over the course of time, what that does is allows you to get the type of shots that you practice. Now, game shots are not the same as practice shots for a variety of reasons, but if you can have that type of separation, you're going to feel good about your guys that put in a lot of reps, put in a lot of hours working on their shooting. And this is a game where Wisconsin, like a lot of teams, they're going to guard some of our guys a lot more closely than they guard other guys. And there we were last year with a 1-point lead with 2 wide open 3-point shots that we didn't make to stretch the lead to 4. But you know what? We would take those shots again. And we're going to continue to get good looks for guys that really work on their shooting and have faith in those guys and belief in those guys. Otherwise, if you don't take them, I watched a Duke-Arkansas game last night. Arkansas took one of their defenders off of one of Duke's players and literally put his head under the net the whole game. And we're not doing that.
You guys are top 10 in efficiency still. Are there any other specific areas where you want to see improved to maybe boost that efficiency a little bit?
Absolutely. All kinds of areas. You should spend some time up in our offensive meeting. I mean, we're 6 games in. There's so many things we can do better. There's a lot of things we emphasize with our guys. I think one of the real challenges, and this is a good thing, is striking a balance between we've got 2, 3 guys, if you count Oso at his position, that are elite offensive playmakers. But there's 5 guys in the game. And so we could go to one end of the spectrum which says those guys have to have the ball all the time on every play. No one can try to go make a play but them. Well, that doesn't really fit with our overall way of what we're about. But at the same time, and last year's Wisconsin game is a good example, Cam Jones got it going in the second half, and he was rolling there. He was getting to the basket, he was getting to the foul line, he was scoring. When that happens, we need to continue to improve our recognition and our understanding that, hey, it makes sense for the ball to get back to number 1. And so that's a balance that we'll continue to strike, and I think our guys are making progress.